Welcome to the SoulScape Show with your host and intuitive multidimensional channel and soul healer, Gabrielle Spencer. You can find all SoulScape shows and free gifts from our special guests at soulscape.tv. This is season 4. We are so blessed to have with us Catherine Rosenbaum. She is a gifted teacher, guide, and visionary, a true empath who through love, compassion, humor, and joy lives out her human design as a reflector. To sit with a reflector is a unique experience that can be revelational. Catherine's clarity, insight, and support through a session can open up profound pathways of self-understanding. She gets to the heart of what matters, and when revealed, that once held energy is free to be available for new opportunities that arise for our highest personal growth and for the upliftment of all. Please join us as we discuss What's Happening in the Stars, a Psychic Weather Report. Hello and welcome, everyone. This is Gabrielle Spencer, the host of the SoulScape Show, and I'm super excited that you have joined me tonight for my special guest, Catherine Rosenbaum. I just love her energy, and I want to give you a little idea of who she is. She is a gifted teacher, a guide, and a visionary, a true empath who through love, compassion, humor, and joy, and lots of laughs, that's what I love about her, as she lives out her human design as a reflector. And we'll ask her about that as we get going. She is rare like a unicorn, which is awesome. Only 1% of the human population are reflectors. They are pure lunar essences who can reflect back to us the deep and often hidden, intimate, jeweled facets of ourselves. To sit with a reflector is a unique experience that can be revelational. She has clarity, insight, and support through a session. She can open you up to profound pathways of self-understanding. She gets to the heart of what matters, and when revealed, that once held energy is free to be available for new opportunities that arise for your highest personal growth and for the upliftment of all. Today, we're going to talk about what's happening in the stars, a psychic weather report. And I would love to welcome Catherine. Hello, sweetie. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to get together with our family. We've never needed it more. So thank you for having this wonderful platform for us to connect. We really need each other.
I love to connect with you, and I love the fact that you're in my state, in my favorite part of the state, actually. And I just really appreciate all that you do to enhance the energy. Because we all know it's not just local, what the work that everybody is doing. So first, Catherine, tell us a little about yourself and explain to everyone what a reflector is.
Well, hopefully so many of our star seeds are literally this aware of many of the talents, astrology, human design, all these different facets of how to understand ourselves. So a reflector is someone who comes along that is a pure lunar essence. What that means, what I've discovered, is that I always thought I was invisible as a kid, and sometimes still do, and have a night life more than the daytime. And as people are coming out in the day to kick around a ball and have a purpose and a soul crystal of light as the sun, I hold the lunar, so I am more of a reflective energy. And it took me about 10 years to really know my design, because it's all by experience, and it's by waking up in the middle of this program, this homogenized world, and finding out what our unique gifts are in the middle of this matrix. And so I've been exploring myself experiential. I don't have a mind. I don't have the emotions. I don't have, I look for love in all the wrong places. It's very wide open, my soul crystal. So I'm really here to support humanity they call it like a canary in the cave, but I think it's more just a reflection to say that we are in a new world and nothing is going to be the same. And we are here to create together and clear up all these misguided parts of us of what we call our not self. So perhaps I'm a reflection to get to your true authentic self, because I can feel empathically through anything that is not of value or reality that we hold on to. So I am just a big crystal eraser, and I come out to support people in my commitment of Tikkun Olam, to repair the world, every word, act, and deed. And through keeping the communication together, to stay connected so we can collectively do the work that we're here to do. You have a very beautiful, strong aura. I've been just tuning into it as we're talking. I have a lot of energy now because you have such a strong generator, strong manifesting, brilliant light. I'm talking about you, honey. I just had to focus in on you because there's so many people coming in. I start to connect with everyone at once. So sometimes I really don't know who I am. I am a reflection of what is in my auric field.
I see. So tell me something. I mean, that's a really interesting point. So you're reflecting back what you're receiving, is what you're saying. What about the people who are absorbing what they're around, but not in a positive way? What can they do to deflect that, perhaps?
I don't know if deflect. I know to be aware of yourself and where you have your consistency and where you've learned to become homogenized and fit in and be conditioned. So I feel that I spot and experience what is conditioned in you that has no value. So then we bring it to the surface and erase it, because everything is energy. Even karma is energy, coagulated. So I'm here to serve other people in the community. I just need a lot of private time because I'm a hermit too. So I come out and I serve, and then I pull back and move into a space of movement from the lunar fields. It's pure empathic field. It can make you feel really crazy. When there's many people in the older times that were in homes because a reflector could be called multidimensional or too many personalities. Even before the show tonight, my daughter said, I wonder how many flavors you're going to be tonight, how many personalities. But I can look to the moon and literally know what my vibration is empathically bringing out, because I follow a 28 to 29 day cycle. My girlfriend had a joke yesterday. She called me and said, I have a question for you. And then before I answered, she said, I'll call you back in 28 days for your answer. It was like a human design joke because I take a full lunar experience to really see what is coming. If someone would take a time-lapse camera and speed up my life for 28, 29 days, you would be able to see what I truly am as my own personality. Yet, because Ra Uru Hu, who created and downloaded all the human design, said no one really knows what a reflector is, because they are not the solar powered builders of this new earth, which all of you are.
I was going to say, I'm totally aligned with the sun. So I find this really interesting. It just occurred to me, if you're on the moon, so are your best partnerships those where you hold the moon side and then somebody else is holding the sun? this is just a fun
I
question. Just
It is
curious.
a fun question, and through my experience, because I've had so many beautiful experiences, I feel that it's to the person I would be with how awake they are, because I feel at my point, an archangel, I would date an archangel, but coming down to the human masculine right now, when they're just coming into a whole new appreciation for the feminine within them, I don't think I could date or be with someone because I flavor whatever they are. So it took me many years to learn that I become exactly what somebody wants for me to be in every facet. And I'm very comfortable there. But when I get by myself or away, I go, wait, I'm nothing like that. So it is a nebulous type of a field. But when you learn that things are moving and shaking and we're evolving, and I'm here as a awakened lunar person, they called me lunatic, so I can point out and find who's ready to be pulled out of the illusion. That's my work, and it comes it's automatic for me. So it's really
That's
to
a
find
great
out who we
gift.
are. Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. You know, it's really fascinating. Okay, it's fascinating because I think a lot of people might say totally ready to be pulled out of the matrix and to see things the way that they are versus, or not even, I think it's more fluid anyway. I don't really think that it's stagnant. Would you agree? I mean, even out.
Absolutely, every minute, and we have cycles. Some cycles can call us into these times where we can receive ourselves back to ourselves, and specifically these next 5 days, because as I work not just with astrology and archetypes and sacred geometry, I also use the gene keys and the human design. And these are like for people who live from the universe, all the candy we could get, because everything is written in the stars and in the I Ching and in the Kabbalah. And right now, this next 5 days, beginning today, the sun has moved in. All you solar identified energies are in gate 33. And this gene key teaches us something awesome. We're in it for 5 days, and we are really asked to utilize this because it's teaching us that our lives are mythical. And our myth is rich with characters and twists in fate. On the full moon coming up, August 3rd, especially, EST here, August 3rd changes, that full moon is going into a grand T-square and bringing us into some twists of fate that we have never been in. And there are those who will represent energy, negative energy, like evil, all in the twists. Those who represent good, those who turn from good to evil or from evil to good. We're having huge shifts, and there are backdrops that are changing around us. The entire matrix has been collapsing since January, since that whole conjunction of a new time as we know it. And the new characters are coming in, and they enter, and characters are leaving. And so the whole tapestry, we are being asked to retreat and withdraw and having a great pause in the journey. And I bet some of you today who are on the call have felt today or beginning late last night that we really need to be still and quiet, because we're in a rush of forgetting, and we have to stop and have a cup of tea. And because in the next 5 days, whatever has been hiding behind the matrix, or whatever has been the matrix that needs to collapse, including The globalist systems are breaking down. Have you seen any of the matrix shifts? I have noticed a couple things have recurred in my life. Like I went out around the corner walking my dog, and right around the corner someone went by, and a second later they came by, the matrix. It was a glitch in reality. So I'm starting to notice that. But these 5 days are exquisite times to come back into what we call retreat, because everything that's been hiding since forever, but especially since the last 3 eclipses through June and July, up till now, there's been huge oppositions, and everything is ready to shift again.
So when we say we're ready to shift and that it's a time of retreat over these next 5 days, does that mean we're just maintaining our vibration to allow the shift to happen maybe with as much ease and grace as possible?
Exactly, because it's the Merkaba is shifting around us. And we have to, our gift to contribute at this time is bringing in this new crystal, this building a master crystal, which is created by trinities, and how the 9-centered being that is, we are evolved to this point, is starting to spin out into trinaries, and that's how you can see it. People who see sacred geometry, they're seeing tons of pyramids and oscillations, and all the beautiful opening work of Mark Sims in the Harmonic Convergence 2020 over July. This has been like the biggest intergalactic welcoming to have a multidimensional experience. And now we just moved into the restructuring DNA of the blue lunar storm purification period, which is all spoken about in the Mayans and the 13 moon cycles. And the cool part is, I know that so many people listening understand all this. We're really up to date, understanding that the cosmos is the technology and science we're looking for. Somebody's piping in, I think it's Yeshua, is saying that we are the new science and technology, realizing that we are creating like a butterfly effect. Every little thing we're doing right now matters as we're retreating. So this is very cool. I'm very excited. I wasn't before, because I was looking at what's coming up over the next 6 months through the stars and through the symphony of the stars. And there's such heavy stuff coming, meaning whatever's been hiding with all these planets, Pluto is hidden and all or nothing. Jupiter is expansive. Saturn is, time. It's structures, it's repression, it's what else? It's our skin, our bones. It's time itself. It's extreme pressure is coming up and activating. And what I love most about what I've experienced in these last 6 months of working with people and beautiful star seeds and clients around the world is that I'm noticing that their crystalline insides are waking up, equivalent to as much dark and breaking down of the old matrix through militaries and governments and religions and education. It's all collapsing. And yet, what I understand from my higher self is we are being called to create as we go. I want to say like January, February 2021, because over these next 6 months, I think we're hunkering down to whatever's been secretly trying to control the matrix and keep us asleep. So that is breaking down as fast as it can, and that will be complete in 2027 is when that new whole gateway is open. We come into a new development of our DNA. But in the meantime, how is everybody feeling?
So is this like a 7-year cycle?
This is 7 years until this cycle that's actually started in 1615, called the cross of the planning, and we've been planning since 1615, building societies, laws, governments, and now it's beginning to collapse because 2027, a whole new codon DNA activates in our cellular crystals, which is all of us together. And we go from binary, which we're in, black or white, yin or yang, into trinary. And that is why we're here. It's holographic is how I see it. It's like a holographic earth shift, but it's embedding in our trinities something much bigger. And how I want to call it goddess or the great grandmother, I feel more and more the neutrinos, which is what I'm really big on, because when I was born, the neutrino pool is how I became a reflector. Because neutrinos are subatomic energy, invisible. It's not even magnetic, but we have like 100 billion neutrinos flowing through every cell of our body every minute. And so the neutrinos that we're not aware of, unless you're a nerd or scientist like some of us, those neutrinos are cosmic stardust that are from every part of the universe. And they come hugely through the sun. Atomic bombs can get good neutrinos going, but that's not fun. But the sun in the day and in the nighttime, neutrinos are coming right up through the earth, through our homes and our bodies and activating us. So we're always, always, always connected to something so much more than our mind, our human mind, which is a wonderful way to measure things. Our mind is a measurer, an analyzer, but it is not what's waking up in us. It's our star diamond crystal that holds this new development in our DNA that brings us into a new earth, a new Merkaba.
So 7 years.
7 years of breaking down anything that has not the humanitarian Aquarian love in it, where we're coming together as Earth as a ship, or identifying us with a star, that we're here to wake up and bring this new development onto Earth through our bodies and be in our bodies while we do it. So yeah, it is the 7 years to that 2027 new DNA development, which we get into the cross of the sleeping phoenix, which is what begins in 2027. And Pluto goes into the gate in the I Ching 41. And 41 is if anyone looks up the human design or the hexagrams, that gate, that DNA 41 ends a DNA and starts a whole new codon, a new DNA program. So that I would call as the Aquarian age, or the new Mayan development of a new purification. As I'm talking about this, the crickets outside my window are just getting louder and louder.
Like crickets or frogs?
They're everything. I think they're like cicadas, crickets, because the frogs call in the rain. But I think they're cicadas. They sing
Yeah, they sing.
when you get excited.
Mm-hmm.
And we are right now. Venus is ready to join the North Node, and North Node to me is Dharma. And so that Venus just came out of shadow yesterday. Venus is our love. It's our relationships, our money, our projects, our self-appreciation. So Venus, after like 4 months, has been shadowed and behind. And now she's up in the morning star. She's out and she's ready to join a destiny point in our lives, so in the next few days. So we are out of the shadow and into something that has never been before. How do you feel? Have you been resting? Have you been drinking lots of water?
I'm drinking water, but I don't believe that I would classify ever as resting.
Well, you're a Mani generator.
Sorry?
You have a Mani generator auric field. You are meant to work and to create and to bring and hold something and build it on the earth.
I'm doing my job.
You're doing your job impeccably, yes.
Yeah, I'm doing my job. And when like today, I said to my family, I need a nap before my show tonight. So they all left me alone and I got to do that. And then you regenerate and then I just keep going. And that's how it is. But I definitely felt today, this morning, in fact, I sent it out to my inner circle. Okay, I'm actually felt different today. Like it was lighter. I was happy, just like, wow, okay, something has shifted. So this is good because it means that, for today, it was, the energy was flowing nicely. So I'm excited to hear that we're moving into a new phase. That's always good sometimes. But gosh, sometimes I just want to race to the end. Can we just get to it now? But I have a question for you. So I know that I am sun, and I know that I'm aligned with the golden beings of light and the golden sun, and that's my place of happiness. How can other people determine where their power comes from? And notice I used the word power, I know, but there you are. And somebody else was asking, how they can tell where they're at. Now they had a question. Let me read it. Here, my other people are writing in. Said, can you gauge the spirituality level of a person? And if so, what type of levels do you use to explain where someone is and how they can move forward? And this person wants to know where they're at. So all those things, how they can find, if they don't know, where they can connect, or what aspect they are connected with, generating, reflecting, whatever. And then how can you tell where they're at?
Yeah, it's a great question. And the answer is always in the now, right? To find that out, there's so many maps and programs and intuitive levels now called the quantum that we can look at. So our maps and our blueprints and our human designs that I love to read from, or the gene key also, it's a part that shows us our highest levels that we could move up to. So we're not born with something and stuck. It shows everybody, and they're telling me that every chart and every planet and tells you exactly where you are and what's going on. There's really no secrets in ourselves anymore. Our purpose is to learn what we are and what we are not. And each person, by your date of birth and your time and year, if you have the time, and location, gives us the maps. It gives us a symphony of the stars It's like everybody held their breath and jumped in at an exact time to have all these beautiful quantum maps to read back to themselves wherever they are in the now. And they can go back in time. I do all the past lives, whatever the angels want to bring forward, because each person's higher self or more awake self tells me what they want to know and how they want to do it. I was just thinking, some of my clients, they want to know something, and their higher energy that I connect with says, no, she doesn't. Let her learn it on her own. So sometimes, we...
Yes, the higher selves divulge what they want. Frankly.
Exactly. And when they want and how much.
That's exactly right. And they make you work for it too sometimes. I mean, I think my higher self is pretty comical. I think that my higher self gets a great kick out of me, actually. I hope that they're laughing, not going, oh, I'm going to just wring her neck.
No, they like your spunk. And of course, they feel you have a really strong connection with a empowered feminine archetypes. You have a lot of beings that work with you. My goodness. I'm just looking at them.
It's my troop.
Yeah, the women's troop.
It's funny because I think that as we all move along, I end up with assistance just whenever I need it. So I never worry or think about, well, who am I going to call on? They're just always seem to be there. And I'm just grateful always for the guidance. And even when I'm not feeling particularly kind or loving or caring in the moment, I still will get the nudge or whatever it is I need to move me forward. And that's a gift, I think. I think it's a real gift.
It's a gift and it's a power.
Well,
and
it's nice not to be left in my own misery, I guess. You know what I mean? Like to wallow in it until one day I figure it out. Like, yes, you're moved through it quicker, and that's nice. I like that.
It's perfect. You face, embrace, erase. And then you clear it for yourself and all the other beings that are in your life. We just keep cleaning up the collective as we go. And being awake and doing this is what is really being asked of us. Because this full moon on the 3rd is going to whoop us. I'm sorry to say, this is the second half of the performance of what I called in January, the zipper of the Truman Show being pulled down, and that the whole earth went inside out. And what we thought was good was bad, and what was bad is good, and it's just crazy. And Neptune is giving us lots of delusions, and Venus is bringing us into a grand power. Yeah, I'm looking at your energy. You streamline directly through the sun. My goodness. I'm looking at your energy. And when we're looking at one of my favorite understandings is a different form of astrology called helio. And that really is based from the sun's point of view. And I was thinking of contemplating. I don't have a mind. Lao Tzu always asks me, what am I thinking? I go, I'm not. I'm contemplating. Thinking is the monkey mind. But that right now, the helio astrology, which is the sun's point of view, the vibrant consciousness of the sun, on Sunday, Jupiter is crossing. It's exactly joined with Pluto. Jupiter, that expansive, the biggest picture of it all, the philosophies, is going to break open that hidden Pluto, which is Scorpio's secrets, what's under the covers. And so this is going to be the next 5 days. Everybody, please giggle with me that we are put on notice that something that has never occurred And the shadows are just giving their last kick in the pants to try to take things back to how they were. And there is nothing to go back to. Dolores Cannon says there's no more steps back there. Why do you keep looking back? In the human design, it's stop looking in the rear view mirror. There's nothing there. We are creating as we go. And the helioastrology is showing that Venus is conjuncting Neptune. That's like Venus is love, it's Aphrodite, it's our relationships, but Neptune is the high goddess of compassion. It's the ocean, it's the wave of consciousness, and they're coming together. Conjunct means at one-ment. And right now they're coming together. And the movie, the plot is going to be shown to us. It feels like my angels often pull curtains in front of me, like when I'm trying to help someone find their soulmate. And they'll just close the curtain on me, say, no, their higher self said they'll find them on their own, get out of the way. You're not here to reflect. You're here to reflect what their lack of power, so then they can reconnect and attract it right to them. So we're having huge experiences this week that is going to show us what is behind the movie of what we've been told is how the world is. And thank God we're waking up and are being out of the conditioned and coming into our authentic true self. How do we do that? By knowing yourself. Know what you are and know what you're not.
So let me ask you this really quick. Kim says, I know that I'm a projector. What is the best way to find out our archetype? So in delving into that deeper, how to know yourself. See, I feel like the time for us to be caught up in all of our woes is over. Like, it's time to move into that power place. And I kind of see it, I know this is going to sound silly, but I see it as steamrolling past the woes. Like, we're going to move into this part of ourselves, that power position. So finding out your archetype, does that help you say, okay, all of this stuff, I'm letting it go, and I'm moving on? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, it's good to know what you are as a authority and what your authority is. A projector is like 19-20% of the population. There's 5 types, and they're here to be teachers and guides. So they often can walk around exhausted because they're here to be the neck. They're here to have all the plans, to be one-on-one with people, but they're not here to do the work. They're not the generators or many generators that are here. 70%, they're builders. They're building the new earth. The projectors are softer. They're teachers, and they have to be invited into all these energy beings, or they can really feel alone and have to back away because they have to be seen one-on-one for their gift. And then they come out and they are guides and teachers, and they show the way showers. The generators and many generators build it. So to understand the way your authority runs, and for them to know to wait and to sit in a hammock and wait for something to call them or someone opening the door, because then they can come out and be their contribution to the earth. We all have our own auras, Merkabas, and to know thyself is always our best avenue, because we're unique and individual, and no 2 people hold the same auric field. And so to know that, to me, is why I do my work, because it's essential to know yourself, because we can't look out at everything being crazy out there and controlling and call that our world. It's not our world. We're watching it break down, but we have to know ourselves. And each one of us learn how to come into that cross of individual status, which is where we are right now, coming through our purification.
Okay, so I have two people asking a similar question. So we have Vita and Melissa are asking this general question. What is happening when one is going through the same pattern over and over? Is there a chance they can just break the pattern by desire instead of going through the journey? So basically, how do they get through it as quickly as possible?
Well, I love that, especially when there's no time. But I do feel we are in the gate, which is a hexagram 24. And everybody is going through this collectively. And that is the gate of returning. So we literally are refocusing and seeing where we've been, and then waking up our underneath what is our true forgotten brilliance that we already are, our awakened state. Now, I do feel that we do not need to dig back in the trash to let it go. I just dump the whole trash bag. It's so archaic. Even this T-cross coming up, it doesn't have the cross, it doesn't have the scorpionic energy. We don't need to pick our bones to know that we've been struggling in war since we got here, and that the outer world is not the world we believe in. And it's power, like you said, honey, but it's compassion. Compassion, they're saying, is a great power. Neptune joining Venus. Neptune is the higher octave of love. Venus is the human octave of love. They're joining for the first time in history, joined with Jupiter, closing a door and birthing something new in. Yes, I don't believe in digging through the trash. I do feel when I'm in a session, when a lot of junk comes up and people have some have more karmic patterns that they're here to clear up. Some are here to work on their whole generations. So they're here to stop it and say, no more ancestral karmic junk in my trunk. Get it out. Bye-bye. So yeah, there's a lot there right now. And if you're feeling it, it's wonderful because you're facing, embracing, and erasing, but we don't want to dig and look for it. That's that.
Do you want to take a call?
Whatever you want to do, Angel.
All right. I think this is Alyssa. Are you there? Alyssa?
Can you hear me?
Hello? Go ahead, Alyssa. Ask Catherine your question.
You can hear me?
Not so well.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
Okay, while you do that, I'm going to go click on somebody and then I'll come back to you. Okay. All right. Kim, I think I've just unmuted you.
I love the interactive of our family. This is really wonderful.
I love taking calls. Okay, Kim, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
We can. Go ahead.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's I had a session with Kat in March and Catherine in March, and it was wonderful. Just in looking at the space that we're moving into with the Lionsgate and the August 3rd, what do you feel is best for us to get through these next 6 months, especially as an empath and trying to work, holding that compassion for others outside, and yet, as we work to protect ourselves.
All that. Absolutely. You're right on schedule. You're doing the work. You have a very good report card here. And
Right.
It's extreme compassion right now is what we're needing, especially for ourselves, because things are ready to speed up. And the first 6 months was stabilizing in the middle of what is true and what isn't. And we've been overloaded with way too much information, which has just been confusing a lot of people. But it feels like you're very strong in your own position right now. I think you're doing a great job. Are you eating well? Are you sleeping a little bit extra?
My sleep is pretty normal, and I'm definitely eating better than I have, just really drinking a lot more water. Just really trying to be more healthful and conscious. So
Consciousness. You're doing a great job. I'm so glad we picked you to come on to share, because you're in the unknown, but you're okay with it. And that's really what we're asking, not to be afraid. Fear and guilt and shame is a program, and it's been in the matrix since we were born into it, saying we have to live. Just deal with it. This is how it is. We torture animals. That's normal. We hurt. We have submarines in the sea that are nuclear. It's just crazy. This is not our world. So we're asked to really know and be in the consciousness of collectively all knowing that we are building through our own imagination and beliefs that we can create this new earth and start creating. They want you sitting 25 minutes at least a day, focused on how it's going to be, not how Disney told us cartoons were and how imagination is. We don't want to go into other dimensions. We want to be awake as we are being called, and our higher beings are online around us tonight, ever since July 14th, when Mark Sims called in the galactics around the whole world. They came in groves. We're not alone. We're being guided through a commitment, like you said, the Lion's Gate. And the whole 3/4 of August, we're going to have the South Node in the galactic center at that 27 degrees Sagittarius. So that to me is from the past. It's a energy of where we've been, and I feel it's the galactics stepping up, meaning that our higher selves, our hearts, the parts of us that are totally safe and immortal and in love with what's happening in the collective, that we're feeling a unified force that is louder than anything else. And the music of the spheres, I've been hearing more and more music coming in the night times, vibrations. So the one thing they want to say to you is to remember that we have arms around you. You're not alone. We see you. I'm looking at them. They're like, oh gosh. When they first start peeking in, it's like, better sit up straight. But they're part of us.
Yes.
They're part of us.
Thank you so very much for taking my call. It's really a treat to be here with all of you.
Thank you, Kim.
Absolutely.
Love and blessings.
Thanks, honey. All right.
That was a nice pick for the collective. She's in the unknown, but she's really, real open to what is possible right now.
If somebody was writing in, and I only caught a brief piece of what they were writing, but they were asking about the void energy. And I know for myself, my work and the group that I have going, I work a lot with just void energy. It's not that big of a deal, but what do you have to share about void energy and this time and what's being opened for us?
Well, I can't imagine us not saying we're in a big void right now. We are in the void. I can't, that's sort of like a loaded question. The answer's in the question. Yet I am having the experience of our whole solar system is moving into an area being drawn by the great galactic center, the great mother. And we are literally going into parts of space because we're moving very quickly. I love how we appear like we're just sitting here, we're round, we're moving through time and space-time in quantum speeds, and we think we're just sitting here with gravity, just la-laing along, but we're moving into a part of space that is awakened and a field of enlightenment that so many cultures and people have talked about through the beginning of time. And all the Aborigines are coming forward, the Pleiadians, the Lyrian. We could sit here and just powwow and sing. We would have more beings showing up to be with us because this is an exciting time. Now, I call it the earth splitting, but I've had some I rarely send things out to everybody because right now people are losing their minds and coming into their senses. So they're in extreme fight or flight.
I'm going to say extreme pain. It's having to learn to function in a whole new way. And it's definitely flattening some people, but we're all here for you. All of us. We all have good days and we have not so good days, but having a loving community, I feel, is really important to help with all of that. Anyway,
community, yes. Local community is going to be building. We're not going to be running around the country. We're going to be closed down a little bit. So we are where we are, and that's good enough. And we're waking up right where we are because it's a divine plan, and the light always comes forth to give us the most exciting opportunities, called the land of miracles and mystical vibrations. They're saying mystical vibrations. That sounds beautiful. I want some.
It's funny because before this, when I was having my little nap, it was coming to me, connecting with and activating missing frequencies. And that just kept going around and around in my self. And I just thought, wow, I wonder what that means. I wonder what it is that I'm tapping into. I like the wonder part. I wonder where that's going to show up next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The neutrinos that are subatomic particles that are feeding us information every second in the body. And through the planets, it comes through, it brings us information. And they've just recently found that there's 3 types of neutrinos, which are these subatomic particles. They are invisible and they blink in and out of reality. I have a feeling these neutrinos are giving you all kinds of information genetically and through your DNA that is opening up some of those sounds or frequencies that are opening up dormant parts of our own existence. Of course, we're not even solid, we're hollow. We're clear. We're connected with love particles. The vibration of love holds this matrix together. And then we got all the scuffy, scallywags that came in and said, oh, we love this earth. We're going to just create stuff that is under our control. And now that has been asked to leave the planet literally since 1987. But, in time and space, it seems to go slow. I know you love quantum. Let's get it now. When I was born and noticed it was still in war and men were still having power over women, the consciousness of that, the old Martians, the old Aryans, I was really disappointed because I felt, when do we get to the 1,000 years of peace? We've been promised this.
Yeah, when? Do you have an answer?
When we're not in time or not feeling the time restraint, we will be there. So it feels like a quickening. I will give it 2027. But I also want to give it this next week, because whatever's going on this week is really interesting. In the human design, we just moved into what, like a transit. Like you're a Mani generator, I'm a reflector. The beautiful starseed, she was a projector calling in. But we are in a week of manifestor. And manifestors are they're here to have impact and inform. They're here to kick ass. They're not here to follow or kumbaya. They're here to kick out the door and say, this is the way we're going. They are seeds. They're starters. They're a pain in the butt, too, if you've ever been with them. When you say yes, they say no. They go in the left door, you go in the right. They're like the fish swimming upstream.
No, see, they just go, and it's your choice if you want to follow. That's how I see it.
Absolutely. Yeah, they have no desire.
I'm okay if you don't want to follow. That's the thing. But I know I'm going the way I'm heading. See?
Yes, and this is the week of this activating in the collective, this manifestor. And what this one manifestor this week is saying is, if you look at the gate, it's the ability to keep secret one's intentions, hidden and secret until the appropriate moment. And they keep secrets until the moment. And I feel this full moon is going to open the matrix, and we're going to see what the shadow has up their sleeve, because it's their last act in the plot. And I also want to say that everything that I call shadow or negativity or is all part of us, because we can't see that as separate. That's our junk out there manifesting. As we clean up within ourselves, the world cleans up, because we are holographic. The new holographic earth can be whatever we let it be. So yeah, keep up with that.
We need to be keeping up that vibration of love and light for sure. Okay, let's see if we can find Alyssa. I think I can hear her. I think I must have unmuted her. Alyssa,
I did click unmute. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry for the Manhattan sounds in the background.
What's your question?
So, well, I hear that you said that you're a projector, and everything that you described that to be really resonates for me. I think I've always kind of called it motherhood, but motherhood on the level of for the world kind of motherhood. So it's like this support and care for pretty much the whole world's inner child is kind of how my life is going. And I find that I don't really have very much purpose in the daylight, in the working world and the career system. It just doesn't really fit well with me, and I've just kind of been focusing more on the people and their emotions and kind of letting them reflect at me, and then kind of healing it within myself, and then returning to them and sharing that uplifting, healing energy that I wound up learning more about. Would you say that's the same thing, the motherhood projector?
Yes,
purpose?
I think you are. I do. I feel you're living your design by, it's not like I can tell you, though I can see everything when I look at your 8 maps, but you are living your design, and you know it because things work out for you when you live in accordance with your authority and your strategy. Like yours is to wait to be invited. Otherwise, you get there and all the energy beings are too busy. They're here to build. You get, and so you feel alone. But when you're discovered, you also, there's so many ways that could be. You could be born with your planets in the 12th house. You could be born with a 2 profile, a hermit, built into you. So there's so many things to understand of why you are and why you decided to be your beautiful design and how to contribute it to the world. It's so unique, we can't, but it feels like you know what you're doing, and I love it.
Yes, and I think the craziest part of life for me has been accepting that I just don't have a place. You know, like society tries to say like everybody has a purpose in the working world, in the daylight, in the building within some sort of a career, and I think that's been the hardest part for me over the past few years, is just accepting that's just not, like, I got the college degree and I worked for years as a scientist and I traveled the world doing that and just couldn't quite be happy with or fulfilled by it. So I just find it very interesting and very awesome. Thank you for sharing your story, because it's wonderful to know that, you know, I'm not the only one. So thank you.
You're so welcome.
All right, sweetie. I'm going to hit mute. There we go. All right, we're going to open Catherine. I think another Catherine. There she goes.
Hi, Gabrielle.
Hi,
Catherine.
Hi, Catherine.
So, Catherine, I did have wonderful sessions with you. I'm the 29 degrees Cancer and 58 seconds, my moon. So I'm just wondering, is that affecting, I'm a Mani generator, but I'm feeling less than kick-ass. I'm trying to put together my offering into the world, but I'm not feeling very confident about it.
Exactly, because that's what you're clearing, that Cancerian part of the mastering of the emotions or the sensitivities, how the ebb and flow, trying to get your balance. We just have been through 3 huge eclipses, and it opened up some new portals in July. And so and most of it was in the Cancerian realm. So you have just had the new moon on the 26th of July, right on, excuse me, I think the new moon was Monday, right on your moon. And that is activating everything, especially it's opposing exactly now, this month, Saturn opposing your moon. It's like you're feeling isolated and lonely. We can't get to that because you're breaking down those fields of what we want you to break down, called the things in the way of feeling your power. So you're doing a great job. Eclipses can last 6 months, but I do feel your sensitivities, your heart, and your psychic abilities, that empathic ability, is waking up is the outcome. And I would give it just into the beginning of September to see how that wave has changed in you, because you've been eclipsed. Eclipses are huge empathic shifts. It's nothing to do with the mind. You can't figure it out. The mind is a computer. You have to get you into your senses, and you're in them. But Saturn opposing your moon in this month makes me feel isolated, that I feel like every defense and ancestral belief system's got to go. So you might be clearing some of your grandmom's stuff or great-grandmom too. So you're doing a great job, great work. But it feels like you're alone. Make sure you reach out and let someone touch you, especially a Mani generator. They're saying, put your hand on your tummy. Everybody, that generator, and just put your hand energy, your beautiful light, into your tummy, that solar plex. Everybody can do that every day to bring you back to the void that we're in the middle of the universe, sitting on planet Earth. But I do feel isolation for you, and I also feel a father or a man in your life. I just see him sort of you're breaking up something there that feels something I lost, or someone who could not love me. So whatever that is, we're just clearing it up right now. Since you're here, we're binding it up. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Catherine, as
It will
ever.
feel better. Yeah, drink a lot of water.
Got you.
So
Love
much
you.
love. I love the people. We've connected with people. These are our real family. People all over the world, we're connecting now because we know this is our time of being here. And we're not going to be wimps.
Nope. We're all showing up. We're here.
All
We're
showing
ready.
up.
We're doing our part and being the light that we're meant to be. And it's an exciting time, Catherine. I'm looking forward to when you and when you did the reading for me in June. So I'm anxious to see the rest of how it comes out. But I will share the part. Remember when we talked about searching for a house? You told me
I
that
don't hold memories, honey.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You told me I had a month. My window is a month, and I'm like, oh, I'll definitely find a house. No house. And what happened was after that month, and I was in my mind like, that's just time. It doesn't mean anything. I can find the house whenever. The market shifted right after to a seller's market. It made me laugh. It made me think, okay, so sometimes we take it literally like it has something to do with us, but actually the market shifted. So I find it fascinating when you see things in hindsight as compared to when we first hear about it and we think we know what it means. And then as we're living it, it meant something else.
And it's shocking. We're literally, Mars is which is the masculine, is in the shock gate for this whole week as a manifester. We're going to be shocked. They're saying expect the beginning tomorrow. So I feel we're doing a wonderful job at opening portals of understanding that we're molding together and that we're equipped and prepared and bringing all our centers together right now to bring a new step, a little step, each day into something new together through our imagination. And you know, all the great philosophers and spirits say the same thing, that imagination is our gateway to how we want to experience it. So all you many generators and generators are building this new earth. I thank you so much. The projectors are showing us the way. The manifestors are kicking out the doors and saying, follow me. Because the shock gate means like something is full of gall, like the shock gate. It's a great gate. It's not always terrible. I had a girlfriend who ran to Hawaii, we got off in Hawaii, and she has that shock gate really strong. It's an electromagnetic gate in her own birth chart. And she ran to the beach, and a whale came up and popped a baby whale out right in front of her.
Wow.
I go, that's a shock gate that I like. It's not always accidents. You know, we're still in binary, so we see two sides. But that is opening up the portal for the collective this week. And I was so concerned about it, but when I connect with all of the star seeds and all of you, I get excited because I can feel all of you and that we are in the unknown territory, but we know we're in the power of the new earth and that we're not going to overlay what we did probably hundreds of years ago because so many of us are coming back in time. That's what I see. Uranus is opening up that whole stage of the universe and the universe is interplaying with us. So it's more than human, it's a galactic awakening, intergalactic. So that excites me, and I thank all of you for being with us because I can feel it through you all. Those are what's in your crystalline programs. And the symphony is ready to begin.
I agree. That's what I think is meant by the missing frequencies coming back. That we've just been given that opening to the next set of missing frequencies. And when I think of frequencies, I think of them just as you said, like a symphony. It's music. It's amazing. It's amazing, and it's so peaceful. Somebody had written in the chat box something about that they wanted to get back to peace, but that's peace. It's when you're connecting and these higher frequencies are just flowing through your body. It's not that you're in a cave somewhere or off to yourself exactly. It's that it's just always, I don't know, it feels musical. It feels peaceful. I don't know how else to describe it. Do you, Catherine?
I love it. Well, it sounds like when you're out of your mind, you can't be in peace up in the monkey mind.
True.
That whole shoulda, coulda, woulda, coulda, do it.
Right.
Think about it. So you are absolutely in your beautiful design as a money generator, living out of that experience in the gut, the battery. And manifestors, much as I give them a hard time, I have about 20 manifestor clients and friends, they're renegades. But they are, when they're not living their design, they're pissed off, they're angry, they're argumentative. But when they are in their design, which everybody is moving towards your true design, they are pure peace. The manifestors are the peacemakers. So we know what our not self is. As a manifestor, we're angry and pissed. But when we're living our true self, we resonate with pure peace. So they are the peacemakers. And you have that built into you as a manifesting generator. You hold that renegade that is striving to find the peace gene, that genetic coding of the new codon of higher love, compassion through awareness.
It's fun, actually.
It is,
I mean,
thank you. I
it
love,
is.
well, the sun is in Leo too, we have 25 more days to have fun.
Oh, good. We could use some more. I think everybody feels it, that we could use some more fun and just more peace and understanding that it's all in hand, and our only job is just to be light. That's to me the main mission is I am light, and in every opportunity that I have or that I can be, that's what I am. Now, as I always say, honestly, I am human. I am a mom. I have 3 children. And sometimes I am not always light, as they will attest. But anyway, do you feel, my dear, that you would like to do, I don't know, channeling or a process for everyone?
What I am being called to bring forth, and this is not the first time, but I feel who's around us, the moon is in Sag, we have a lot of galactics here and star families, is to express the great invocation.
Okay.
Do you know that?
No. I might once you get started.
Well, the great invocation, it comes from a long time ago from Master DK and also through Alice Bailey. But they've been coming through so strongly in these last 6 months since time as we knew it collapsed in January. And they feel that this is the vibration from all colors and all spectrums of light, that if we could just hold this as a collective, we could see the new earth appearing as if by magic. And it's called the Great Invocation. And this is how it's expressed. I hope I remember it all. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, and Goddess, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. May the world teachers return to earth of the highest orders. And from the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the will of every person, every being, the purpose which the holy masters know and serve. Let goodwill and the will to do good descend on earth. And from the center which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out. And may it seal the door where evil dwells, our darkness, our shadows be re-emitted into the light. Let light, love, and power manifest the divine plan on earth, here now. So be it. Indeed. Shanti Ishta. So much love.
So much love. All right, my dear. I'd love it if you talk about your free gift that you're giving. And I can tell everybody you can go to soulscape.tv/Catherine to go out and get it. And the replay will be housed there as well. soulscape.tv/Catherine. So Catherine, do you want to tell them about the X39 or would you like me to do it?
Well, if you would like to, of course, we're talking about awakening our crystalline bodies, our diamond crystals, our diamond channels to the sun, most of you. And the X39 was created by an incredible scientist, alchemist named David Schmidt. And these are the first that I know of, quantum crystals that will be part of the new medicines of the future that are all streamlining in where we get out of the drugs and the big pharma, so we can heal our bodies and live 1,000 years. And so these crystals activate our stem cell production and repair, and that you wear it as a patch or a band-aid, and every day it activates our copper peptides, the GHK-Cu copper peptide in our skin. So it picks up our own life force, the red light, and activates growth and repair and stem cell production, which also brings tons of collagen production as a byproduct, which is youthing, healing, rejuvenating every cell in our body. So do you have anything to add to that?
If people want to read more about it, I've put a description more about it out on the website I just gave you, soulscape.tv/Catherine. You can read more about it, and then you can send Catherine an email and she will send you a free sample so you can check it out for yourself, see if you resonate with it, and if you want to continue, she will be able to give you information about how to do that. So, we're all about helping ourselves. It's so important for our physical bodies to be able to make this journey with us, right? And staying in very good health, as you've heard her say 1,000 times, drink more water, rest more. There's a reason our bodies have to be able to make the adjustments to this higher frequency, these higher energies, and to help us be here to anchor and hold light and project it and do all of the great things that we're here to do. So,
yes, and the crystals are a frequency. These amino acids, it's a pattern, and it's a frequency that activates, cleans up, how I am saying it in layman terms, cleans up all the inflammation in our body from emotional, physical, old scars, whatever. So we start creating the stringlets of that frequency of renovation and rejuvenation. So it is supporting the body. Our spirits are already pure, whole, and complete, but this is going to help our body go with us. And it's one of a million technologies that the guides say are coming online in the next few years. So I was so excited. I heard about it on the Lions Gate last year, and I couldn't sleep till I got patched. So I'll be glad to send anybody who emails me some samples for a week so they can feel
They can check it out.
Yeah, they can check it out and experience it, and it's fun. It's fun helping our bodies become more light.
Absolutely, because that's when you also feel more peace and more just everything, all the good stuff that we all want and we know is available. So it's another way to help yourself boost your frequency and hold it. To me, it's always about being able to be it. And I always say hold because that's how I see it to myself, that the more light that I'm able to bring in, the more light I'm then able to share. And so that's my goal. Anyway, I thank you, Miss Catherine. I love you very much, and I cannot wait to come and see you in person and get to spend some special time with you, I hope soon.
I do too. Thank you, Goddess.
Thank you. You're just such a delight. I loved having you here tonight. Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us and all your questions and all your conversation and being here with us and sharing your light and your love. So important at this time, especially, and now going forward forever, right? This is what we're here for. So much love to everyone, and I will see you live next week, same time. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Bye-bye, sweetheart. See you soon.
Bye-bye. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.